welcome to GamesMaster, where we're sometimes asked, instead of all that modern video game computer work of set and claptrap nonsense, why don't you feature traditional family board games instead? Well, we don't because they're cack. Cluedo is a game set in a Tudor mansion which only serves to exaggerate the class divide already in existence in this country. Scrabble, a farcical affair where the word pants only gets you a low score. And worst of all, Twister, an infantile thing where the people that you're playing with often end up falling on top of you. Now, where's the fun in that, I ask you? Not nearly as much as there is in today's show.
Nice ladies, Emma Noble and Debbie Flett whipped themselves into a frenzy in Final Furlong.
But we begin with an event we call Oi Bloke from Another Country. Are you starting?
For the hardcore arcade gamer, Tekken 3 is the king of beat-em-ups, boasting a depth of gameplay that's made it a hit not just here, but in arcades all over the planet. For today's challenge, we've assembled the greatest Tekken 3 players in the world to decide once and for all who is King Tekken. From Norway comes 24-year-old champion Øystein Andersen. Øystein runs an arcade in Oslo and actually owns a Tekken 3 arcade machine at home. For the last week, Øystein's been off work to practice for what will surely be the fight of his life. The United States is represented by Jeff Shue, who spends 5 to 10 hours a day playing Tekken 3. At a recent championship in Las Vegas, 20-year-old Jeff trounced the opposition. Will he do the same here? From Japan, the home of Tekken 3, we flew in 21-year-old Sho Hiraki. Sho claims to play the game for enjoyment rather than to win, but this hasn't stopped him becoming a legend in his hometown of Tokyo. Fighting for the home country, 18-year-old Ryan Hart, an ice cream bar attendant by day, by night a regular winner of national tournaments. Known as the best Tekken 3 player in the country, he's earned himself the nickname of the Terminator. The stage is set for the first international tournament ever. The champions have assembled, only one can win.
The winner will be decided in a league of 6 matches. Every challenger will play everybody else only once. Each match will take the form of the best of 3 bouts, with all game options set to their factory defaults. I think my champions are ready, so let's get going.
So, please welcome her from the 4 corners of the world, the greatest Tekken 3 players on planet Earth, Ryan Hart, Jeff Shue, Sho Hiraki, and Øystein Andersen. Welcome, Jeff. Welcome, Øystein. Welcome to the show. Right, Ryan, let's start with you. What is it about Tekken 3, the whole Tekken series of games, that you think makes them better than other beat-em-ups?
Well, when hits connect, you actually see the blow, you actually see the spark, you know, you feel the solid hit, and not really many other games have done that.
Yeah.
You know.
Jeff, you're from Berkeley, California, which I think, if I'm correct in thinking, it's the only place in the world where you can still legally walk around naked.
I'm not sure about that. I think they might have made a rule.
Have you tried it?
Yeah, after. Well, I can't say I have yet.
Now, Øystein, you talk to other Tekken players on the internet, and you think that helps you learn the psychology of how to play?
Well, probably, and another problem is that I have no one at my skill level to play in Norway.
Yeah. And finally, Sho, obviously in Japan, a little bit crazier than we are here. Is there like thousands of people playing Tekken in Japan?
Yeah, about 5,000 people playing in Tekken.
5,000 people playing. Okay, this is probably the biggest tournament we've ever had on GamesMaster. We're going to commence with it now. The first match is going to be Great Britain against Norway. That's Ryan against Øystein. If you'd like to take your places by the machine, gentlemen, I'll go up to the commentary box. Helping me to describe the action for our Tekken 3 World Championship is Mr. Derrick Lynch. Now, people have often asked me, why is Derrick Lynch qualified to talk about beat-em-ups? Well, put it this way, we actually played each other earlier on today. Derrick beat me without even looking at the screen. That is how good Mr. Red Hot Lynch is. Right, okay, we are going to be running a league table throughout this competition. The league table is going to be written thus: how many games they've played, how many games they've won, how many games they've lost, and then we're going to add bouts for, bouts against, so we've got like a goal difference as well. If you're familiar with football, this will make total sense to you. If you're not familiar with football, then your life is very, very empty, and you're probably not worth talking to. 3 points for a win, 0 points for a loss. Let's get started. Okay, Ryan and Oyston, let's get it on. So Ryan is playing his ball in the red pyjamas on the left-hand side. Oyston playing his Hihachi in the camouflage pants on the right-hand side. Energy bars are at the top left and right of the screen. You can see Ryan's one is down very low already. It's a great start by Oyston playing his Hihachi, Derek.
That's right. Oyston's using some special tactics there and really confusing Ryan, but Ryan's coming back. Some powerful combos.
That was great, Derek, wasn't it? One more hit, that's it. It's about one. It's 1-0 to Ryan. We can see in the replay there, it's a fantastic punch to the stomach, the head finished up by a flying kick. A fantastic comeback there. Okay, about two then. About the Oyston Hihachi must win.
And it's interesting to note that the blue sparks, the blue smoke are defensive. It means blocked.
Yes. If you see a red puff of smoke, it means they've connected. A blue puff of smoke means it's been defended. Both of the players quite low down in energy. It's a very, very close second but Paul is in the lead now. Oh no, it's a great bit of a comeback from Oyston. There's a lovely spinning kick, and that's it. Oyston draws in level, 1 bout each. Okay, here we go for the final deciding bout. Ryan has Paul in the red, Oyston has Hihachi in the camouflage pants here. It's a good start by Paul. Hihachi's bar's quite low already, Derek.
That's right. Very good defensive techniques on both sides. They really are sizing each other up.
All the blue puffs of smoke, they are not taking energy off because they've been defended. But that one got through, Derek. Oh, and the spinning one, that's a good little combo. Paul in trouble now.
That's right. Oyston's looking for a good combo. That's it. Look, he's running away, and then coming back in.
We thought Ryan was the favourite. We could have an upset in the very first bout. Ryan is down. It's Oyston has definitely seen the best in this fight. But we're running out of time, actually. Oh, no. Ryan is down. And they're running out of time. There's an upset in the very first game. Oyston takes it 1-0 to Norway. Okay, the next fight then, it could be another classic. Japan against the USA. Best of luck, Jeff and Show. Let's get it on. Okay, so Jeff is playing as Law in the yellow jumpsuit on the left. Show playing as Eddie with the massive big afro and the blue flary denims. And it's a great start there by Eddie, actually. It's a great start by Show.
That's right. He's really putting those big white shoes to full effect with the capoeira style, which means he'll do cartwheels and break dancing, which really does confuse the opponent.
Yes, he does. Okay, so I want to look at energy bars. That takes the first fight to Eddie Tiger. That's the first fight to Show there. Fantastic display. A great finish there, Derek.
Show is truly using the confusing tactics of the capoeira guy, Eddie.
Okay, we're into the second bout now. It's about the Jeff as Law for America must win, but his energy bar's quite already, but he's started a very good fight back. That's America in the yellow jumpsuit against Japan in the blue denims and afro. And we can see it's America winning this one. We can look at the energy bar, the top right hand corner of the screen. It's going down, it's quite low, it's there for me. It's 1-1. Fantastic finishing combo there, Derek.
Right, yeah, that's what they're going for. They're aiming to get the opponent up into the air and then do the combo
before he reaches ground. Okay, final deciding about America against Japan. America in the yellow, Japan in the denims. It's anyone's game. Oh, great! Fantastic move there. Look at that energy bar applause. It's gone right down, Derek.
Very powerful throw there. Really does suck the energy.
Right out, but he's come back a little bit now there. And it's quite even, but it's a great fight back from America now. This could go either way. Oh, no, that's it. Rik KO. It goes to the man in the yellow pyjamas. America wins that one. If we look at the league table after round one, we can see that Jeff and Oyston are tied at the top with one win and a bouts difference of +1 because they won both the bouts 2-1. And equally, Ryan and Shaw are tied at the other end of the table, no points with a -1 bouts difference. It's Great Britain against the USA next up. This is a match that Ryan really has to win if Britain is going to have any say at the top of this World Championship table. We wish you the best of luck, Ryan and Jeff. Let's get it on! Okay, so Jeff is playing Nina on the left-hand side. She's a girl. Ryan is playing Paul on the right-hand side. He's a bloke. It's a much better start there. Oh, no, but it's not going to throw there. It's America actually in the ascendancy, Derek.
That's right. He's very defensive and blocking, then went for a throw.
Oh, but that's a great double punch, double kick combo there from the UK's fighting hard there.
That's right. The energy's right. Oh!
Energy's right low. It's about one to the UK. Ryan 1-0 up. We look at the replay. Again, it's double punch, hit. Oh,
had more of the thing.
Yes, thank you, Derek. Okay, round two then. Jeff, USA, and Nina, the girl on the left-hand side, has to win this to stay in this match here. But again,
right.
those punches and... That's a different goal! That's a massive one!
Paul has moved right there, pulling down to the ground.
Okay, but look at the energy bars. Nina's energy bar is lower. No, but she's just got a couple of kicks. No, but then Paul's got one still. This could be breathtaking. It's 2-0 America in big trouble here.
That's right, Ryan. He's finished with a throw.
And that's safe, finishing with a throw. Ryan back in the pen. The UK wins that one 2-0.
UK. Okay.
Okay. Right then, okay, the next fight, Oyston against Show. Let's get it on. Okay, so Norway, Heihachi, right-hand side, topless. Japan, Eddie Tiger, kind of pant short, Michael short thing. Right. Okay then, right, but look at the energy bar. You can see Heihachi's is low down already. Oyston in trouble this time, Derek.
That's right. Japan,
yes, Oyston loses that one. Show comes back, wins the first one, 1-0 to Japan.
Okay, straight in there.
Straight into the second bout here. Again, like the other fight, the person who lost the first match is now winning the second match. What a competition, Derek.
Oyston using, shows use of capoeira here is unbelievable.
And
Cleaned up the situation.
It's the second, but it's a very, very quick match. Show comes back from it's supposed to be to win it 2-0 for Japan. Every single one of our competitors has now won one match. That means that bout difference is going to come into play. We're going to look at how many individual bouts they've won. We're going to sort out all of that, and you will find out who is now at top of the table after this week's Celebrity Challenge.
Since, alas, it seems this is the last challenge I'll ever set, I prepared something really special to see us out. The arcade horse racing sim final furlong. Perched on the perverse plastic thingy, my two contestants must race each other to the finishing post on the 1-mile track by furiously pumping the reins of their hapless nag. Right, well, let's get ready for the off.
We've gone for the fantastic integrity again to play this horse racing game. Please welcome from player cards right, Brucey's favourite girls, Debbie Flett and Emma Noble. Welcome, Emma. Now, horses, horse-wise, do you have any experience with them, Debbie?
Well, I've been horse riding, and I was bucked off horses when I was about 14.
You were what, I beg your pardon?
Bucked off horses.
Right, okay.
When I was about 14. And that's the only experience I've had, so I'm hopefully nothing like that's going to happen today.
Debbie, have you been to the horse racing or anything like that?
Yeah, I've been to horse racing in Canada.
Yeah.
And I've also been to the dogs as well, in Wimbledon. Same sort of thing. All betting. And I'm going to the dogs.
Yeah.
No. It's just a thing that happened.
It's commercial break time. Remember, in the second half of the show, we are going to have the final of the World Tekken 3 Championship, as well as these two semi-professional horse riders. We'll see you after this break. We have got Debbie Flett and Emma Noble about to play Final Furlong, and we're joined by the most serious of GamesMaster commentators, Mr. Kirk Ewing. Kirk, it's the final time we will stand together in this box. How do you feel?
Well, I'm not sad about it, because quite frankly, I think it's time that you loosen your Fagin-like grip on me, and I won't have to do any of these nighttime service fees for you anymore. So, yeah.
Now, as far as horses go, and these electronic ones in particular, what tips have you got for the girls?
Well, I mean, the basic tips here are not to bolt out too fast. You want to be adopting the right position. It's very difficult to show you this. But
I can see it, though.
You want to be getting kind of, you know, this going. Now, I don't know if you caught that, but that's what you want. If you get that and you just keep it tidy all the way through the race, then you've got a chance.
What we're doing is we've got a 1-mile race. Whoever's first past the post will go away with our final ever Celebrity Golden Joystick. Best of luck, Debbie. Best of luck, Emma. Off you go. Okay, the horses in the stall. Debbie Fletch in the white one. Emma Noble.
they're off.
And they're off, and they're coming up. And we're going to stay with Emma. With Debbie Fletch. First of all, you can see Debbie Fletch. And ahead of her, you can see Emma Noble. Emma Noble is in the lead and sticking away.
Emma Noble's in the lead. You're absolutely right. She's about 4 lengths ahead there. That's only 2 lengths in Dominik Diamond terms, but she's about 4 lengths ahead. She's maybe a bit of chance to the width, but the energy is still staying good, and she's got a nice lead there, I think.
Yes, if we go by the Debbie Flett's motor, you can see that Debbie is now in the lead in the Wales, but she's going too fast this stage. She's going to run out of energy, and in fact, let's go back to Emma. So's Emma, Kirk.
Emma's also going too fast, but you can see her fine F-line limbs pumping away there like madness. Absolutely beautiful to see this in action.
They certainly go, but just about halfway through the race, and if we stay with Emma Noble's motor, we can see that Debbie Flett, the white ahead. It's 3 furlongs to go though, but Debbie Flett is still in the lead. We'll stay with Emma's motor. They've got to really use the whip now, Kirk.
They've got to use the whip as fast as they can. They've got to get those old nags going as fast as they possibly can.
And she's overtaken her. Emma Noble is overtaken Debbie Flett, but Debbie Flett's coming back to the white.
Whip it good, whip it good, whip it good.
One more furlong, let's stay with Emma Noble. We've got Debbie Flett in the white ahead. They're coming up to the finish of both of the finish. I think it's a photo finish, but I think it's Debbie Flett emerges the winner. Well, first of all, can I say that was very, very exciting to watch, fantastically exciting to watch. Now, if we could talk about the race. Now, you did all right, actually, there, Emma, but I think you got beaten by a very short length.
I got beaten by a whip.
Yeah.
She started whipping me.
Yeah.
She's always doing that. She's so out of control.
Yeah. Keep going, this is great. Usually I have to come up with innuendos, but this is fantastic.
No.
Anyway.
Was it very tiring?
Well, I'm quite competitive, you see, and I was actually possessed. I don't know if you noticed.
Yep.
Well, I was like, yeah, Debbie, let's have some fun. And Debbie was like, no.
The thing is, you said that you were possessed, Debbie. So was I. At one stage, I went quite rigid. You know? And it was.
I'm glad that we had that effect on you, Dominik.
Yeah.
I'm going to miss this show. I'm going to miss this show. Let's award the final Celebrity Golden GamesMaster Joystick to Debbie Flett. We've still got the final of our Tekken 3 World Championship to come. That's after today's news.
For the nation's 1.9 million PlayStation owners, the game of '98 will be Resident Evil 2. After well over a year of development, the title's finally complete, and we've got hold of some exclusive footage from Japan. The new game comes on 2 CDs and is a massive 8 times bigger than its predecessor. The action takes place in Raccoon City, which has been overrun by, yes, zombies, hungry for their dinner. The basic style of the game remains. It's a usual mixture of puzzle solving, boss bashing, general carnage, but with improved graphics, sound and a variety of new weapons, Resident Evil 2 seems set to make the original look about as scary as Parappa the Rapper. Released in Japan in a couple of weeks, infuriatingly though, we won't be getting our hands on it till spring.
It is now time for the final round of our Tekken 3 World Championship. It quite literally could not be closer. If we take a look at the league table now, we can see that Ryan and Shaw, who were bottom of the league after the first match, are now top of the league. All the players have got 3 points, but if we add up the amount of individual bouts they've won and take away the ones they've lost, Ryan and Shaw have a +1 bout difference. Jeff and Oyston now have a -1. This makes our final 2 bouts very, very interesting because Jeff from the USA and Oyston from Norway are in effect playing to avoid coming bottom. Right. It's all there. It's all very, very tense. Jeff and Oyston, let's get it on. Okay, we can see Jeff has Nina on the left-hand side, Oyston has Hachi on the right, Jeff's in the coat, and Jeff's in the purple hot pants, Oyston is in the big old man's coat, and it's a great start by Jeff, by American Nina there.
That's right, he's using the technique.
But great uppercut.
Oyston again.
Fantastic comeback by Oyston. He's getting them in the air, Derrick, again.
That's right.
Oyston takes it. Oyston takes that first bout there. Lovely little spinning low leg kick there, Derrick.
Watch out for that spinning low leg sweep.
America has to win this to avoid coming bottom here. We've really got to have a great fight back from Jeff. He started okay, but the punches aren't having much effect, Derrick.
That's right, because Oyston is using excellent defence and he's going to come back. Oh no! His defence is
he let a couple through. He's got through the defence. It's a fantastic second fight by Jeff from America there. It's now tied at 1-0. Finishing with a great uppercut. It now comes out to this bout to see who's going to get the wooden spoon. Jeff, America on the left-hand side, he's the girl. Oyston is the old bloke. He's Norwegian. Okay, it's wait, takes a couple of punches. America on the defensive now, Derrick.
That's right, Oyston using the juggles. That's it, it's over.
Oh no, it looks like America could be something from that wooden spoon. America pulls it back. all comes down to this game for the World Championship. Great Britain against Japan, Ryan against Show. Let's get her on! Okay, Ryan is playing as Paul, right-hand side, red outfit. Show is playing as Eddie Tiger Boy, left-hand side, funky pants, purple, black outfit, and it's a great start by the UK's Ryan there. No, it's not.
No.
Right, actually, no. Oh my God, it's Japan there.
That's right. But it's quite even now. It's quite even. Anything can happen.
Okay, it was a 5 punch. Oh, great punches there.
Hammer.
From Ryan. Oh, punches finished with a double punch combo. 1-0 for the UK. First blood to Ryan Hart. Okay, Show has got to pull this back.
That's
He's
right.
got to win to stay in. Oh, what a brilliant throw there.
Excellent throw. Comes in there.
Fall up with a leg sweep.
Now Ryan has to come back. Hammer punch. He tried it, but no.
Oh, it's all Japan, Derek. He's playing a blinding fight this time.
He really is keeping the pressure on.
It certainly is. Look at the edge pass, the top right hand screen. You can see Ryan's at the top right hand is very low down.
But there's excellent defence on both sides.
Oh, that's a great triple kick. Japan pulls it level. It's 1-all. It could not be tenser here. Whoever wins this single fight is the greatest Tekken 3 player in the whole world. Here we go for the final round. Japan on the left, Red on the right, and it's Japan making the best start here, Derek.
Half the energy is gone already. Can Ryan come back?
It's going to take a comeback of titanic proportions if Ryan Hart's going to win this, because it's all Japanese. Just brilliant spinning low kick combo, forward a tiny bit of energy left, Derek. Unbelievable.
I can't speak. I'm frozen.
Come on, Ryan. Japan win the UK loses. Show Dexter Fletcher in the world. Show, let's begin with you. You are the champion. A fantastic final match. Were you worried at any point in the fight?
If I play again, I think other people win.
Yeah, that's very magnanimous of you.
Yeah.
Okay, let's move on to Jeff now. You finished second. It was just that defeat against Ryan then in the end that cost you the title.
I mean, I played horrible in that match, but I give Ryan credit. He played better than I did. You know, I froze up. I'm happy with the way it turned out overall. It's great.
Now, Ryan Hart. What happened, Ryan, in that last fight? Were you surprised by the combos that Show was throwing at you?
Not really. I just didn't use as many moves as I could have used. I just used really basic stuff.
Oh, why?
I'm not sure. Maybe it's because you're worried, you know.
Yeah. Finally, Øystein, do you think that the fact, I mean, Norway never do very well in the Eurovision Song Contest either. Is there a relation between Eurovision and Tekken 3?
Probably not, no.
Probably not? Oh, well, it was worth a try. This has been the final piece of challenge action in the history of GamesMaster. I think it's fitting that it's probably been the best one we've ever had. I would now like to present the GamesMaster Golden Joystick to the official Tekken 3 World Champion from Japan, Sho Hiraki. Now, that is our final proper normal challenge, GamesMaster, as such, because next week is the final show, and it's going to be a moist-eyed look at the past 7 years. I can assure you it will be gayer than tiptoeing through the tulips on a hot summer's day in Jacobean times. Please don't miss it. It's your last chance for fun in a dull, dull world. Bye-bye.